Maya-chan adjusted her worn backpack strap as she approached the gleaming registration desk of Cyber Defense Summit 2025. The convention center buzzed with executives in tailored suits discussing million-dollar security contracts. "Next," barked the registration clerk, barely glancing up. Maya slid her contractor badge across the marble counter. "Maya-chan, IT support." The clerk's eyes narrowed as she scanned the basic blue badge. "Seriously? They're letting help desk kids in the main conference now." She held up the badge mockingly. "This is for actual cybersecurity professionals, not computer repair." A security guard chuckled. "Probably here to fix someone's printer." "I'm contracted for network infrastructure support," Maya replied calmly, noting their biometric scanners were running outdated firmware with known SQL injection vulnerabilities. "Sure you are, college girl." The clerk smirked, tossing back her badge. "Try not to break anything important while you're supporting infrastructure." Maya pocketed her credentials, already identifying 3 critical security flaws in their registration system that could compromise the entire conference network. At the networking reception, Maya nursed a water bottle while executives in designer suits discussed contracts worth millions. She positioned herself near the server room access panel, mentally cataloging the conference's network architecture. "Look what the cat dragged in," sneered Marcus Webb, CTO of SecureCore. "The IT girl thinks she belongs with the big boys." His colleagues chuckled as Maya approached their conversation about recent nation-state attacks. "Actually, the APT groups you mentioned are using more sophisticated TTPs than traditional APT." Webb interrupted, grinning at his audience. "Someone's been reading Wikipedia? Tell us more about these advanced persistent things, sweetheart." "Tactics, techniques, and procedures," Maya corrected quietly. "The threat intelligence suggests they're leveraging zero-day exploits in SCADA systems." "Zero-day exploits," Webb mocked in a high-pitched voice. "She thinks she's some kind of cyber warrior. Next she'll tell us about her elite hacking skills." The group erupted in laughter. "Maybe she can help us reset our passwords," another executive jeered. Maya remained composed, though she'd already identified their company's exposed database credentials in a recent dark web leak. Information they clearly weren't aware of yet. During the nation-state cyber warfare panel, Maya sat in the back row as Dr. Harrison Klein, a supposed expert, confidently addressed the packed auditorium. "SQL injection attacks are basically just putting bad code into websites," Klein explained to murmurs of agreement. Maya shifted uncomfortably. That wasn't remotely accurate. SQL injection involved manipulating database queries through unsanitized input vectors, not bad code into websites. "The Chinese APT groups primarily use simple phishing emails," Klein continued. "Nothing sophisticated about their methodology." Unable to stay silent, Maya quietly spoke up. "Actually, APT-40 utilizes multi-stage payload delivery through compromised supply chains and living Gaussian techniques." The auditorium turned. Klein's face reddened. "Excuse me, miss, but this is a professional discussion." "The IT support girl thinks she knows better than Dr. Klein," someone called out, causing ripples of laughter. "Maybe she learned it from a YouTube tutorial," another voice mocked. Klein smirked. "Young lady, electromagnetic countermeasures aren't something you pick up from Google searches. Tempest shielding and RF isolation protocols aren't theoretical," Maya replied calmly. "Class A missions require specific Faraday cage specifications. Security." Klein snapped. "Remove this disruptive individual. Some people clearly don't understand their place." As security approached Maya's seat, alarms suddenly pierced the auditorium. Red warning lights bathed the conference center as emergency notifications flashed across every screen. "Network breach detected, all systems compromised." Dr. Klein's presentation froze mid-slide. Attendees' phones lost connectivity simultaneously. The biometric entry scanners by the exits displayed error messages in rapid succession. "What the hell is happening?" Klein demanded, his microphone cutting out. Maya watched the coordinated attack unfold with growing concern. This wasn't random. The systematic targeting of authentication systems, network infrastructure, and communication channels suggested a sophisticated adversary. Conference IT staff rushed into the auditorium, their faces pale with panic. "All primary servers are under attack," one shouted. "We're seeing massive DDoS traffic, but it's adaptive. Every time we block an IP range, 10 more appear." The main screen flickered, displaying cascading error messages, SQL injection attempts, buffer overflow exploits, and encrypted commandant control traffic flooding their network monitoring systems. Maya recognized the attack signature immediately. The multi-vector approach, the AI-driven adaptation, the surgical precision targeting critical infrastructure. This bore all the hallmarks of APT-28, a nation-state group known for their advanced persistent threat methodologies. "Sir," an IT technician called to Klein, "our commercial firewall solutions aren't stopping this. The lights went out. Emergency lighting cast eerie shadows as the conference center's backup systems struggled against the relentless cyber assault. Security Director Thompson burst through the auditorium doors, his radio crackling with frantic reports. "Biometric scanners are completely offline," he announced. "Payment systems crashed. Attendee database is compromised. We've got 1,500 executives trapped in a building we can't secure." The IT team huddled around their emergency tablets, their commercial security software proving useless against the sophisticated attack. "Sir, our intrusion detection systems are overwhelmed," the lead technician reported. "The attackers are using polymorphic malware that's mutating faster than our signatures can update." Dr. Klein stood helplessly as his laptop displayed a skull and crossbones. "This is impossible. Our enterprise-grade protection should handle any attack." Maya observed the chaos, recognizing the attack's advanced persistent threat characteristics. The adversaries were using living Gothilan techniques, leveraging legitimate system tools to maintain persistence, while their AI-driven algorithms adapted to every defensive countermeasure. Director Thompson, an aide, whispered urgently, "We're getting reports of similar attacks on other tech conferences nationwide. This appears to be coordinated." Thompson's face went ashen. "Give me the FBI's cyber division now." But the communications blackout was complete. No calls in or out, no internet access. Just the steady pulse of red emergency lights and the growing panic of trapped cybersecurity professionals who couldn't secure themselves. Maya stepped forward from the shadows, her voice cutting through the panic. "Director Thompson, I can help identify the attack vectors." Thompson spun around, his face twisted with frustration. "Not now, kid. This is a national security incident, not a job for IT support. The attack pattern suggests APT-28 methodology," Maya continued calmly. "They're using Emblem-style supply chain compromises combined with Carbonac financial targeting techniques." "Enough," Dr. Klein interrupted, still clutching his infected laptop. "This is exactly the kind of amateur hour nonsense we don't need right now." Marcus Webb pushed through the crowd, sneering. "The help desk girl thinks she can solve what our million-dollar security systems couldn't? This is reality, not some hacker movie." Maya remained composed. "The adversaries are leveraging Lolba's techniques, living off the land binaries and scripts. Your commercial EDR solutions can't detect abuse of legitimate Windows processes like PowerShell and WMI." "PowerShell?" Thompson scoffed. "That's basic Windows stuff. We need real solutions, not computer-class terminology." The lead IT technician looked up desperately. "Sir, our Symantec and CrowdStrike deployments are showing 0 detections while we're clearly under active compromise." "Then get better software." Klein snapped. "We're not taking cybersecurity advice from someone who probably learned about APT groups from Reddit." Maya stepped back, recognizing their pride would cost precious time. But she'd already memorized the network topology from the server room access panel. 20 minutes into the crisis, with attendees growing increasingly panicked about being trapped, conference organizer Sarah Mitchell finally overruled Thompson. "Let her try something. Anything." Maya approached the emergency terminal, her fingers flying across the keyboard with practiced precision. She opened Command Prompt and began executing rapid-fire commands that made the IT staff exchange worried glances. "She's going to make it worse," Webb muttered. "Probably downloaded some script from GitHub." Maya ignored them, launching Wireshark to capture network traffic. Within seconds, she identified the Commandant Control beaconing patterns. There, 354.7-second intervals with jittered timing. Classic APD-28 Grizzly step infrastructure. "What's she even typing?" Klein whispered, watching her deploy custom PowerShell scripts for memory forensics. "Get win event, filter hashtable at logname equals Microsoft Windows sysmin/operational. ID equals 137, where object $_. Message match, Rundle 32, regs for 32, Maya typed, hunting for process injection techniques. The terminal flooded with suspicious activities. "They're using process hollowing in legitimate Windows binaries," she announced. "Your EDR can't see this because it looks like normal system behavior." "Impossible," Thompson protested. "Our security team would have caught that." Maya's analysis revealed the sophisticated attack. Nation-state actors using signed certificates, legitimate cloud infrastructure, and memory-only malware designed specifically to evade commercial security solutions. "I need administrative access to deploy countermeasures," she said quietly. With reluctant administrative access granted, Maya's hands moved like lightning across multiple terminals. She deployed electromagnetic countermeasures that the IT staff had never seen before, her commands flowing with military precision. "Implementing Tempest protocol isolation," she announced, activating RF shielding systems most attendees didn't know existed. "Establishing air-gapped network segmentation with cryptographic boundary enforcement." Dr. Klein stared in bewilderment. What is she actually doing? Maya launched classified encryption algorithms, typing commands that made Thompson's eyes widen. "Opencil Inc. AES 256 CBC PBKDF2 ITER 100,000 salt and payload. Been out secured. $NK. Head C32/dev/Urandom base 64. Those aren't standard security protocols," whispered the lead IT technician, watching her deploy government-grade cryptographic implementations. As the attack intensified, Maya executed advanced persistent threat hunting techniques. Her terminal displayed real-time IOC correlation, cross-referencing YRA signatures against MITRE ATT and CK framework. T1055 process injection detected across 17 endpoints. She deployed custom Python scripts for behavioral analysis, hunting advanced malware that commercial solutions couldn't detect. The adversaries are using Cobalt Strike beacons with domain fronting through Cloudflare infrastructure. Webb watched in stunned silence as Maya neutralized attack vectors using techniques that required years of specialized training. Her expertise clearly extended far beyond basic IT support. "I need biometric authentication for the next phase," Maya said, approaching the malfunctioning security scanner. Maya approached the flickering biometric scanner, her contractor badge trembling slightly in her hand. The entire auditorium watched in tense silence as she inserted her ID into the seemingly broken system. "That thing's been malfunctioning all day," Thompson muttered. "Commercial scanners can't handle this level of system compromise." The scanner screen remained black for several seconds. Then, unexpectedly, it hummed to life. Maya placed her palm on the reader while staring directly into the retinal scanner. "Biometric authentication in progress," the system announced in a computerized voice. Suddenly, the screen erupted in brilliant blue light. A classified emblem materialized, an eagle clutching a key, surrounded by text that made Thompson stumble backward in shock. TS/SCI clearance confirmed compartmented access authorized Special Activities Division Cyber Operations, code word, Umbra Level 5 classification. The auditorium fell into stunned silence. Dr. Klein's mouth hung open. Marcus Webb's face had gone completely pale. "No way," Thompson whispered, his voice barely audible. That's higher clearance than most Pentagon officials. Maya turned to face the crowd, her demeanor unchanged, but her authority now undeniable. I need access to the classified threat intelligence database. The attackers are using advanced persistent threat methodologies that require compartmented countermeasures. The same people who had mocked her as IT support now stared in absolute bewilderment, realizing they had dismissed someone with the highest levels of government security clearance. Captain Chun, a commanding voice cut through the stunned silence. All heads turned as Deputy Director Patricia Williams of the NSA emerged from the crowd, her expression a mixture of surprise and recognition. "Ma'am," Maya responded instinctively, straightening to attention with military precision. Director Williams approached, her authoritative presence causing conference attendees to step back respectfully. "I thought you were still on classified assignment with Cyber Command. What brings you to civilian conference duty?" "Contracted IT support, ma'am," Maya replied. "Those circumstances have evolved." Williams surveyed the chaos, flickering emergency lights, panicked executives, compromised systems, then noticed the biometric scanner still displaying Maya's clearance level. TS/SCI with compartmented access? "Captain, you led the team that neutralized the SolarWinds magnitude attack 18 months ago." Dr. Klein's face went ashen. Marcus Webb looked like he might vomit. "That operation remains classified, ma'am," Maya said quietly. "Indeed, but your cyber warfare expertise is legendary within our circles." Williams turned to address the stunned crowd. "Ladies and gentlemen, you've been in the presence of one of the nation's most elite cyber operations specialists. Captain Chin's classified work has prevented attacks that would have crippled our national infrastructure." Thompson stepped forward shakily. "Director Williams, we had no idea." Her contractor badge showed basic IT support, cover assignments, director. Deep cover. Williams's gaze was steel. "Captain, what's your assessment of this attack?" "APD-28 using Nobelium infrastructure with Carbonac financial targeting capabilities," Maya reported to Director Williams. "Multistage payload delivery through compromised supply chains, combined with living Gothamland techniques to evade commercial EDR solutions." Williams nodded grimly. "Your assessment matches our intelligence. This is the same group you dismantled during Operation Cyber Shield." Dr. Klein stepped forward hesitantly. "Operation what?" "Classified," Williams replied sharply. "But I can tell you Captain Chin single-handedly prevented a coordinated attack on our financial infrastructure that would have triggered economic collapse. Her work saved the nation billions in damages." Marcus Webb's face had turned completely white. The same woman he'd mocked as help desk had higher security clearance than most senators. The SolarWinds level incident Director Williams mentioned, Maya continued professionally, involved 17 different APT groups coordinating through encrypted channels. "We neutralized their command infrastructure using advanced cryptographic countermeasures." Thompson was visibly shaking. "Captain Chun, we had no idea. Your contractor credentials showed deep cover operational security," Williams interrupted. "Captain Chin's civilian assignments provide intelligence, gathering opportunities while maintaining her classified skill sets." The registration clerk who had mocked Maya's badge now stood in the corner, her face buried in her hands. "Ladies and gentlemen," Williams announced to the stunned crowd, "you've just witnessed one of our nation's most valuable cyber warfare assets demonstrate why expertise should never be judged by appearance or assumptions." 3 hours later, the conference center's systems hummed with renewed stability. Maya's classified countermeasures had completely neutralized the sophisticated attack, implementing security protocols that would protect against future APT campaigns. Conference organizer Sarah Mitchell approached Maya directly. "Captain Chun, I'm formally offering you the position of Chief Cybersecurity Consultant for all our events. Your expertise level is unprecedented. The compensation package would reflect your actual qualifications," she added quickly, glancing nervously at Director Williams. Dr. Klein stepped forward, his earlier arrogance replaced by genuine humility. "Captain, I apologize for my unprofessional behavior. Would you consider conducting a classified briefing on nation-state threats? My understanding was clearly inadequate. Marcus Webb had already submitted his resignation, his reputation in the cybersecurity community permanently damaged after videos of his dismissive comments went viral on social media. The registration clerk quietly approached, tears in her eyes. "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I had no right to judge your credentials." Maya nodded graciously. "This incident will become a mandatory case study in our new protocols," Director Williams announced. "Recognizing and respecting technical expertise regardless of appearance or assumptions is now required training for all personnel." The biometric scanners have been upgraded with Maya's enhanced authentication protocols. The conference became a landmark case study in cybersecurity excellence, with Maya's methodologies adopted as new industry standards. Genuine expertise had triumphed over prejudice and assumptions.